Hi, my name is Anne Welsh, and today I'll be talking to you about sickle cell. As you might know, I've been living with sickle cell since I was born. I was diagnosed at the age of 6 months. It was a big shock to my parents when they realized I had sickle cell because at the time no one really understood what sickle cell meant. I think more of a challenge for them was how it occurs and why I was having difficulties and what are the challenges they should expect for the future, because at the time when I was born in 1980, sickle cell was still an unknown condition. So first I'll be taking you through for you to better understand what exactly is sickle cell, because I do get a lot of people saying to me, actually you do look well, so how comes, what does this exactly mean? Today I'll be talking to you about sickle cell, but before I go into that, I'll need to explain to you a little bit about what sickle cell is, because I've been questioned numbers of times, everyone asking me, what exactly do you have and how does it affect you? So sickle cell is a red blood condition where the shape of your blood cell is a sickle shape, so it's almost like a half moon shape. And it is a constant thing. If I go to the lab and say I want to do a blood test, if they take my blood, the first thing they will call me and say, Anne, we've noticed something different in your blood. And it's something my family have always been, struggled to deal with. Growing up in a family that is very conservative, my family have never discovered anything of this nature, and especially I have two other sisters, and we're all different blood type. With sickle cell, I am the full blood carrier. People have sickle cell is in the SS, AS, and AA. I am the full blood carrier of sickle cell, and this is something I've had since I was a little child. So how does it affect my family? My family has dealt with it on a different level, because coming up to have this one-on-one discussion with yourself, I was thinking, how do I start the story of how does sickle cell really affect my family? And I think being on the other side where you don't know how they're being affected, sometimes you might not know how to answer that question. But one thing I would say to you is that I've seen a situation where at hospital and I see my mom also pass out because she's so frightened of not knowing what the result, or not knowing if I will make it the next day. And other circumstances, I've seen my sisters where they're always prepared for the worst and always prepared for the best. But at the same time, I've always been able to live a happy life because people are always there to support me. It was difficult initially because I think the challenge of having sickle cell, especially when you're much younger, and not knowing, and also I grew up in Nigeria where hospitals were still not sure how to deal with the circumstances like this. That was a lot challenging because I know most of the time when I've always been sick at night, and in a country where the hospitals are actually closed at night, or it's risky to go out at night to go to hospital. That has also been very challenging because one big quote my dad has always said to me is that, my daughter, I love you so much, but try not to be sick at night because it's always very risky. But in the UK, it's affected my family a lot differently because I think they have to understand how to cope and how to educate the people here. Pain. Pain has been a struggle. I think for me, the biggest thing I find when you have sickle cell is the pain, because it's an unpredictable pain and it's a massive struggle. When I try and talk about the pain, I really struggle because it's something I don't even understand how to explain to anyone of the nature of the pain we go through when we have sickle cell crisis. But the only thing I could say, it feels like someone is hitting you with a hammer and hitting your bone, and you are at that point where you're saying to yourself, could you stop hitting me? And at one point it gets to a point where the pain is so bad, you lose control of your breathing, you lose control of your ability to think, your ability to do anything. And that's literally the point where this is more than actually hospital, because all the tablets will not work. So you at this point, this could cause you to be in a position of you either end up intensive care because your body is actually shutting down from all the intense pain you're going through. So I think one of the crucial things that we have to deal with is that pain management, and also the other complication that comes with having sickle cell. People think it's just having the pain, and when the pain goes away then you're better, but there's also long-term damages that are associated with sickle cell, and which you get to experience and understand that as you get older. you realize that a lot of things you could do, a lot of things you take for granted, which you now find difficult as you get older. Probably the pain management might be better because you could foresee it coming and you know what drugs to take. But as you get older, there are other complications that you have to now deal with.